My friends, I come before you today to share a message that has the power to transform your life in the most extraordinary way. It is a message where immense power is within each and every one of you, a power so profound, so absolute, that when you learn to harness it, you become truly unstoppable. Now, I know that for some of you, the idea of being unstoppable might seem like a lofty, even unattainable goal. Allowing fear, self-doubt, and the limiting beliefs of others to hold you back from reaching your full potential. Maybe you've looked at the challenges and obstacles in your life and thought to yourself, there's no way I can overcome this. I'm just not strong enough. I'm to tell you that this is all a lie, a cruel illusion perpetuated by the small-minded, the naysayers, and those who are content to live their lives in the shackles of limitation. Because the truth is, you are infinitely more powerful than you're led to believe. You have with you capacity to overcome any obstacle, to achieve any goal, and to manifest the life of your wildest dreams. All you have to do is learn to act as if you are unstoppable. Now, I know that might sound like a rather strange and abstract concept, but for very key to lock in the boundless potential that lies dormant within you. You see, my friends, our lives are not dictated by the circumstances that surround us, but by the beliefs and assumptions that we hold about ourselves and the world. We believe we are limited, that we are bound to fail. Then that is precisely the experience we would create for ourselves. But if we learn to act as if we are unstoppable, if we embody that energy, that conviction, that unwavering belief in our own power, then we have a whole new view of possibility. It is a simple concept, but one that is imbued with profound transformative power. When you act as if you are unstoppable, you are in essence reprogramming your subconscious mind to align with that reality. You are telling your deepest self, the part of you that shaped your experience of the world, that you are a force to be reckoned with, a being of unparalleled strength and determination. And my friends, as you begin to truly inhabit that identity, as you start to live energy unstoppable, something remarkable begins to happen. The external world, which has for so long reflected back to you, your own limiting beliefs starts to shift and morph in response to this new internal reality that you are creating. Opportunities come your way that you could scarcely have imagined. And the obstacles and challenges that once seemed insurmountable start to melt away like ice in the midday sun. It is a profound and awe-inspiring process to witness, my friends, and one that I have had the privilege of observing in the lives of countless individuals who have embraced this transformative process. And results are sure and miraculous. Do I remember the story of a young man who came to me, burdened by a lifetime of self-doubt and feelings of inadequacy. He had been passed over for promotions, rejected by potential partners, and would feel he was simply not good enough. But then something shifted. He began to study the teachings I have shared with you today, and he started to consciously act as if he was an unstoppable force. At first, he was small things and standing a little taller, refusing to let the naysayers and doubters sway him. But gradually, as he continued to embody this new identity, the changes in his life became more and more profound. He started getting noticed at work, his ideas being valued, and his contributions celebrated. Door he had never even imagined could be his. And then one day he came to me, tears of joy streaming down his face, to share the news that he had just been offered the job of his dreams, a position of leadership and influence that he had previously thought out of reach. I pure believe it, he said. I feel like a different person, that I am a different person. You see, my friends, that is the true power of acting as if you are unstoppable. It is not just about achieving your individual goals and dreams, but about fundamentally forming the very fabric of your reality. When you learn to inhabit that entity, that identity, you become a living, breathing example of the truth that we are not merely passive observers in the unfolding of our lives, but active co-creators of the world around us. As more and more us embrace this transformative principle, we begin to witness the ripple effects of our collective consciousness. We see the world around us start to shift and change in ways that align with the new realities we are manifesting. For you see, the power of conscious creation is not achieving our individual goals and dreams. No, It is about tapping into a universal force that has the power to reshape the very fabric of our shared reality. It is about aligning ourselves and best vision for Rena and using that alignment to bring about tangible, lasting change. Just imagine, my friends, a world where each and every one of us is living in alignment with our deepest desires. Here we are all embodying the reality of the better, more equitable society. Imagine the level of innovation, of creativity, of collective problem solving that would emerge from such a unified field of consciousness. This, my friends, is the true power of learning to act if our dreams already been realized. It is not just about personal transformation, but about collective transformation, about stepping into our roles as the co-creators of a new and better world. And make no mistake, the path ahead is not an easy one. There will be times setbacks, and there will be times when the doubts and fears seem overwhelming. But it is in those moments, my friends, that we must summon our deepest reserves of courage, of determination, and of unwavering belief. For it is only by pushing through resistance, by refusing to be dare of obstacles in our path, that we can truly manifest the change we wish to see. It is only by fully embodying the reality we wish to create, by acting as if it has already been realized, that we can begin to reshape the very fabric of our shared existence. As we do so, my friends, we will inspire and empower those around us to do the same. We will become beacons of hope, of inspiration, and of possibility in a world that so desperately needs it. We will be the agents of change, the catalyst for a new and better future, not just ours, but for all of humanity. So, my friends, let us embrace this transformative principle with open hearts and unwavering commitment. Let us step boldly into the shoes of the people we know we can become, and let us let nothing, no doubt, no fear, no external circumstance stand in our ways, where the power is now the power within us, and the future is ours to shape. Let us rise up, let us take charge, and let us show the world that we are capable of when we learn to act as if our dreams have already been realized. I can sense the skepticism of some of you, that perhaps this is all too good to be true. How can I possibly act as if I am unstoppable? You might be thinking, when the challenges and obstacles in my life feel so overwhelming and insurmountable. And to that, my friends, the only thing that is truly stop you can be stopped. It is the small voice inside your head that tells you, I'm not good enough, I'll never succeed. It's just not possible for someone like me. But I am here to tell you in the most absolute and unequivocal sense that those voices allow, they are the manifestations of then imposed upon you, not one that you have chosen for yourself. And the moment you learn to quiet those voices, to silence the naysayers and doubters, both within and without, is the moment that you unlock the true power that lies dormant within you. Because the truth of friends, you are not defined by your circumstances, your past failures, or the limitations that others have tried to place upon you. You are defined by the energy, the belief, the unwavering conviction that you choose to embody. And when you choose to act as if you are unstoppable, when you refuse to let anything or anyone stand in your way, the universe has no choice but to respond in kind. I know it may sound like a bold and audacious claim, but I have seen it happen time and time again. I have witnessed individuals just like you who have facing insurmountable obstacles only to emerge victorious through the sheer power of their unstoppable mindset. Take, for example, the story of the young one I once knew who had spent years languishing in a dead-end job, trapped by the limiting beliefs of her family and friends. She was told that she would never amount to anything, that she should just be grateful for what she had and stop dreaming or something more. But one day, something shifted within her. She stumbled upon the teachings I am sharing with you today, and she decided to give it a try. She began to cautiously add to the full self-assured professional she longed to be. She walked with her head held high, spoke with unwavering confidence, and refused to entertain any thoughts of failure or self-doubt. And do you know what happened? Within a matter of months, her entire life transformed. She started attracting new opportunities, forging powerful connections, and quickly rising through the ranks of her organization. What at once seemed like an impossible dream became her everyday reality, all because she had the courage to act as if it was already so. Now, I know you might go, that's all well and good. Nebel. But what about the really big, really daunting challenges in my life? How can I possibly act as if I'm unstoppable when I'm facing something that feels truly insurmountable? Listen to that, my friends. The size or scope of the challenge is irrelevant. Whether it's a career change, a personal goal, or even a global crisis, the underlying principle remains the same. When you learn to embody the energy, the conviction, and the unwavering belief that you are unstoppable, you open the door to a realm of infinite possibility. Just look at lilies and change makers throughout history, the Martin Luther Kings and Nelson Mandela, the great thumbers of the world. They didn't achieve their extraordinary feats by cowering in the face of adversity or resigning themselves to the status quo. No, they acted as the future their vision was already a reality, and through the sheer force of their unstoppable spirit, they made it so. And my friends, you have that same power within you. You may not be leading a global movement or overcoming decades of oppression, but the principles are the same. When you refuse to be limited by fear or self-doubt, when you boldly declare that you are an unstoppable force, the universe has no choice but to respond in kind. The obstacles and challenges that once seemed insurmountable will start to crumble for you. The closed doors will swing open, revealing opportunities that you never even knew existed. And the people and circumstances that once worked against you will suddenly find themselves aligned with your vision and your power. It is a truly remarkable process to witness, my friends, and one that I have been privileged to observe time and time again. But the key, the absolute non-negotiable central, is that you must fully embody this identity of the unstoppable. You cannot dabble in it or approach it with commitments. You must love it, breathe it, and become it in every fiber of your being. Because when you do, my friends, the results will be nothing short of astounding. You will find yourself achieving goals that you never even dared to dream of, creating life that lies perfect with your deepest desire and highest aspirations. And the best part is, this is not just about you. It's about the ripple effect you create, the inspiration you ignite in those around you. Imagine what the world would look like if we all embraced this transformative principle. If we all refused to be limited by fear or self-doubt and instead stepped into the full power and potential of our unstoppable selves. The inner creativity, the collective problem solving that would emerge. There would be nothing short of revolutionary. And that, my friends, is the true beauty and brilliance of this teaching. It's not just about personal transformation, but about collective transformation, tapping at universal force that has the power to reshape our shared reality, to bring about the kind of positive change that we so desperately need in this world. So I implore you, my friends, to heed this shadows, a lunteishkai, the light of your true unstoppable power. It may feel uncomfortable at first, even a bit scary, but I can assure you that the rewards on the other side are beyond anything you can imagine. Imagine waking up each morning filled with a sense of purpose, passion, unveil your ability to achieve your dreams. Imagine the doors that will open, the opportunities that will present themselves, the admiration and respect you will command from those around you. And most importantly, imagine you will touch, the hearts you will inspire, the collective consciousness you will shift. For when you learn to act as if you're unstoppable, my friends, you become a beacon of hope, a living embodiment of the truth that any is possible. So let us stand together, united in our commitment to this transformative principle. Let us just shed the shackles of fear and self-doubt, and let us step boldly into the reality of our unstoppable selves. Then let us watch with awe and wonder as the world around us begins to bend itself to our new vision. The power is now, my friends. The power is within you. All that remains is for you to claim it, to own it, and to let it transform your life in the most extraordinary ways. Are you ready to be unstoppable? Then let us go forth, my friends, and create the world we know is possible. Let us be the change we wish to see. The living embodiment of the truth that when we act as if we are unstoppable, nothing can stand in our way. The future is ours to shape, and the time to start is now. My dear friends, our topic, act like you don't want anyone's attention, may seem paradoxical at first glance, but I assure you it's the very essence of manifestation and the key to unlocking your divine potential. As we embark on this journey together, I want you to suspend all preconceived notions about attention, recognition, and validation. But what I'm about to share with you is beyond the surface level of human behavior and delves deep into the spiritual realm of creation and manifestation. In the beginning was the Word, and the Word was with God, and the Word was God. This eternal truth, my dear friends, is the foundation upon which we will build our understanding. For you see, the Word is not merely a spoken the utterance, but it is the very essence of creation itself. It is the power of imagination, the force that shapes reality. When we constantly seek attention from others, we are in essence denying our own divinity. We are looking outside of our validation for confirmation of our worth when all along the kingdom of heaven is within us. By acting as if we don't want anyone's attention, we are aligning ourselves with our true nature, with the God within. Consider for a moment the story of creation. God did not create the world and then seek validation from his creation. No, he simply spoke and it was so. He imagined and it came to be. This, my friends, is the power that resides within each and every one of you. You are made in the image and likeness of God, and therefore you possess the same creative power. When you act as if you don't want anyone's attention, you are mirroring this divine attribute. You are declaring to the universe, I am complete. I am whole. I am sufficient unto myself. And in doing so, you are aligning yourself with the creative power of the universe. Now, let us delve deeper into the mechanics of this principle. When you seek attention, you are operating from a state of lack. You're saying to the universe, I am not enough as I am. I need others to validate my existence. This state of consciousness attracts more experiences that reinforce that the self-perpetuating cycle that keeps you trapped in a limited version of yourself. But when you act as if you don't want anyone's attention, you're operating from a state of abundance. You are saying, I am complete. I am whole. I need nothing outside of myself. This state of consciousness attracts experience that reinforce your sense of completeness and wholeness. You begin to manifest a reality that reflects your inner state of being. My dear friends, understand this. The world is you pushed out. Everything you perceive in your outer reality is a reflection of your inner state. When you constantly seek attention, you are projecting a state of neediness and lack onto the world around you. But when you act as if you don't need attention, you project a state of completeness and self-sufficiency. This is not to say that you should become a hermit or shun all human interaction. Far from it. Rather, it means that you interact with the world from a place of fullness rather than emptiness. You give of yourself freely, not because you need something in return, but because you are overflowing with abundance. Consider the sun. It does not shine to occasion or recognition. It shines because that is its nature. It gives light and warmth freely, asking nothing in return. And yet all life on earth turns towards it, basks in its radiance, and flourishes because of it. This, my friends, is how you should be in the war you be thing. But Wayne, how can I act if I act as if I don't want attention when I feel a deep need for validation? And to this I say, you must use your divine gift of imagination. For imagination is the bridge between your current state and your desired state. Close your eyes for a moment, imagine yourself wounded through the world with complete self-assurance. See yourself interacting with others from a place of inner peace and contentment. Feel the sense of wholeness and completeness you're being. This is not something outside you that you need to attain. It is your true nature, your divine inheritance. As you hold this image in your mind, as you feel the reality of it, you are impressing it upon your subconscious mind and your subconscious mind. Being the faithful servant, begin this state to manifestation in your outer world. Remember, my dear friends, that your consciousness is the only reality. What you assume to be true, what you feel to be real, is what will manifest in your experience. When you assume the feeling of being complete and whole, when you body extending anyone's attention, you are setting in motion the forces that will bring this reality into manifestation. This principle applies to all areas of your life. In your relationships, when you act as if you don't need attention or validation from us, you become magnetic. People are naturally drawn to those who are self-assured and content within themselves. In your career, when you focus on doing excellent work for its own sake rather than for recognition, you often find that recognition comes naturally. But here's the key: you must persist in this new state of consciousness. It's not enough to simply imagine it once and then revert to your old patterns of thinking and behavior. You must live from this new state consistently, even when your outer circumstances haven't yet caught up with your inner reality. This, my friends, is what it means to live by faith. It's not about believing in something outside of yourself, but about having faith in the power of your own consciousness to shape your reality. It's about trusting the law of assumption, knowing that what you assume to be true must and will manifest in your experience. Now, let us address a common misconception. Acting as if you don't want attention doesn't mean becoming invisible or diminishing your light. It means shining your light. So bright light that you don't need to draw attention to it. It means being so secure in who you are that you don't need external validation. Think of the great spiritual teachers throughout history. They didn't seek attention or acclaim. They simply were who they were, and the world was drawn to their light. This is the power that resides within each of you. When you tap into your true nature, when you align with the God within, you naturally become a beacon of light in the world. My dear friends, understand the stance from a misunderstanding of your true nature. You seek attention because you believe you lack something, that you need something from the outside to complete you. But I tell you this, you are already complete. You are already whole. You are already one with the source of all creation. When you truly grasp this truth, when you embody it in your consciousness, the need for attention falls away naturally. You no longer seek validation from others because you understand that all the validation you need is already within you. You are the operant power of your life, the God of your universe. Now, some of you may be wondering, but Wayne, won't acting as if I don't want attention make me less successful in life? And to this I say, success is not about gaining attention or recognition from others. True success about align with your divine nature and expressing it fully in the world. When you act from this place of alignment, when you move through the world as a complete and whole being, you naturally attract experiences that reflect this state of being. You find yourself at the right time. Opportunities seem to fall into your lap. People are drawn to your energy and want to work with you. This is not because you're seeking attention or trying to impress others. It's because you're vibrating at a frequency that aligns to your highest good. You're in harmony with the creative forces of the universe. And the universe responds in kind. Consider the story of Joseph in the Bible. He didn't seek attention or recognition. He simply did what was right, regardless of his circumstances. Whether he was a slave or a prisoner, he acted with integrity and excellence. And in due time, he was elevated to a position of great power and influence. This, my friends, is the power of acting as if you don't want anyone's attention. It's about focusing on being your best self, on expressing your divine nature regardless of external circumstances. It's about trusting in the law of assumption, knowing that your inner state will inevitably be reflected in your outer reality. Now, let us delve even deeper into this principle. When you act if you don't want anyone's attention, you are in essence surrendering your ego. You are letting go of the need to be seen, to be recognized, to be validated by others. And in this surrender, you open yourself up to a higher power. You see, my dear friends, the ego is like a veil that separates you from your true nature. It's the part of you that believes you are separate from God, separate from the source of all creation. When you surrender this ego, when you let go of the need for attention and recognition, you remove this veil. You allow your true nature to shine through. This is what it means to die to your old self and be reborn. It's not a physical death, but a death of the ego, of the false self that believes it needs validation from the outside world. And in this death, you are reborn as your true self, as the God you two are. When you operate from this place, When you act as if you don't want anyone's attention, you are allowing the God within you to express itself fully. You become a clear channel for divine inspiration. Ideas flow throughly. Creativity förnärskar being. You find yourself guided to take actions that are in perfect alignment with your highest good. This, my friends, is the true meaning of success. It's not about accumulating wealth or fame or power. It's about aligning with your divine nature to express itself fully in the world. And when you do this, when you act from this place of alignment, all those other things, wealth, recognition, influence, tend to follow naturally. But here's the key. You must not seek these things for their own sake. You must seek first the kingdom of God, which to you must align with your true nature, with the God within. And when you do this, when you act as if you don't need anyone's attention, because you are already complete and whole, all these things will be added unto you. Now, surely this sounds too good to be true. Surely it can't be this simple. And to this I say, the truth is always simple. It's our human minds that complicate things. The law of assumption, the principle of acting as if, is as simple and as natural as breathing. Just you don't have to think about how to breathe. You don't have to struggle to apply this principle. You simply need to assume the state of being complete and whole, of not needing anyone's attention. You need to feel it as real, to live from that state consistently. And as you do this, you will find your outer world naturally aligning with this inner state. Remember, my dear friends, that creation is finished. All possible states already exist. When you act as if you don't want anyone's attention, you are not creating a new state. You are simply selecting a state that already exists and stepping into it. You're choosing to occupy a version of reality where you are already complete and whole. This is the power of your imagination. It is the palette from infinite possibilities, from make them your reality. When you imagine yourself as someone who doesn't need attention, who is secure in their own being, you are selecting that version of yourself from the infinite versions that exist. And as you persist this state, as you leave from it consistently, it becomes your reality. Now, let us address a common challenge that many face when applying this principle. You may find that old habits of seeking attention die hard. You may catch yourself falling back into patterns of neediness or validation seeking. When this happens, do not yourself arshi. Simply observe it, acknowledge it, and then consciously choose again. Remember, you are in the process of transformation. You are shifting from one state of consciousness to another. This shift doesn't always happen overnight. It requires persistence, patience, and above all, faith in the law of assumption. Each time you catch yourself seeking attention, use it as an opportunity to reaffirm your new state. Say to yourself, I remember when I used to seek attention, but now know that I am complete and whole within myself. In doing so, you are rewriting your subconscious patterns and reinforcing your new state of being. My dear friends, understand, the world is emulating back to you your own consciousness. When you consistently act as if you don't want anyone's attention, when you live from a state of completeness and wholeness, the world will begin to reflect this back to you. You will find that people treat you differently. They will value you, your opinions more highly, seek out your company more often. This is not because you've done anything to impress them or gain their attention. It's simply because you're radiating a different energy. You're vibrating a higher frequency. And people naturally respond to this energy, often without even knowing why. Consider the great spiritual teachers throughout history. They didn't seek followers or try to impress anyone. They simply embodied their true divine nature, and people were naturally drawn to them, sensing the power and authenticity of their being. This, my friends, is the power that resides within each of you. When you act as if you don't want anyone's attention, when you live from a place of inner completeness, you become like these great teachers. You become a light in the world, not because you're trying to be, but because it's your natural state of being. Now, Let us take this principle even further. When you act as if you don't want anyone's attention, you are, in essence, practicing detachment. You are detached of your actions, from the opinions of others, from the need for external validation. This detachment is not indifference. It's not about not caring. Rather, it's about caring so deeply about being true to your divine nature that everything else becomes secondary. It's a line and that external opinions and validations lose their power over you. In this state of detachment, you find true freedom. You're no longer bound by the opinions of others or the need for their approval. You're free to express your divine nature fully, without fear or hesitation. And this freedom, you find your greatest power. You see, my dear friends, when you're not bound by the need for attention or approval, you're free to take risks, to be creative, to express yourself authentically. You're free to follow your intuition, to pursue your true calling without worrying about what others might think. This freedom is the birthright of every human being. It's the natural state of the God, man that you truly are. When you act as if you don't want anyone's attention, you are reclaiming this birthright. You are stepping into your true power as a divine being. Now, some of you may be wondering, but Wayne, won't acting as if I don't want attention make me seem aloof or uncaring? And to this I say quite the opposite. When you're not seeking attention for yourself, you're free to get your full attention to others. Think about it. When you're constantly seeking attention, your focus is on yourself. You're thinking about how you're being perceived, whether you're making a good impression, whether the people are noticing you. But when you let go of this need for attention, you're free to truly see and hear others. In this state, you become a better listener, a more empathetic friend, a more effective leader. You're able to connect with others on a deeper level because you're not distracted by your own need for validation. You're present, fully engaged, a moment focused on the person in front of you. This, my friends, is true charisma. It's not about drawing attention to yourself, but about being so present, so authentic that people are naturally drawn to you. It's about being so secure in giving your full attention to others without needing anything in return. As we near the end of our time together, I want to leave you with this thought. Acting as if you don't want anyone's attention is not about becoming invisible or diminishing your light. It's a shining from bright that you don't need external sources to illuminate you. It's about knowing, truly knowing, that you are already complete, already whole, already one with the source of all creation. It's about living from this knowing and beneath all every action. When you do this, when you act from this place of inner completeness, you become a powerful force in the world. Not because you're seeking to be, but because it's the natural expression of your true nature. So go forth, my dear friends, and practice this principle. As if you don't want anyone's attention. Live from a place of inner completeness and wholeness. Trust in the law of assumption, knowing that as you assume this state, it must and will manifest in your outer reality. Remember, you are the operant power in your life. You are the outer universe. And as you then feel and assume, so shall your world be. Choose wisely, choose consciously, and watch as your world transforms before your very eyes. And above all, have faith, faith in the law, faith in your divine nature, faith in the power of your consciousness to shape your reality. For with faith, all things are possible. Thank you, my dear friends, for your attention and your presence. May you go forth and live from the God within you, shining your light brightly in the world, not for attention or acclaim, but because it is your true nature to do so. God bless you all. My dear friends, tonight we gather to explore a profound truth that has the power to transform your life entirely. We are here to discuss how you have no comparison. But before we delve into this topic, I want you to understand that what I'm about to share with you is not mere theory or a simple motivational trick. It is a fundamental truth of your being, the essence of your identity and the unlimited potential that resides within you. You see, When I say act like you have no comparison, I'm not suggesting you put on airs or pretend to be something you're not. No, I'm inviting you to recognize and buy of you really are. You are not just a physical body, not just a collection of memories and experiences. You are the very essence of creation itself, individualized as the unique being that you are. In the Bible, we read that God said, "Let us make man our image after our likeness." This is not speaking of a physical likeness, for God is not a physical being. It speaks of the creative power of imagination that each of us possesses. You are made in the image of God, the ultimate creator, and therefore you too are unique. You, the incomparable, and possess within you the power to shape your reality. Now, I know some of you might be thinking, but Wayne, I've been told all my life to compare myself to others, to measure my success against theirs, to strive to be better than my peers. And it will say, this is the gradient that keeps you bound. Comparison is a trap, a snare that keeps you from recognizing and expressing your truth. When you compare yourself to others, you are denying your own unique essence. You are saying, in effect, I am not enough as I am. I need to be like someone, but nothing be further from the truth. You are not here to be a copy of anyone else. You are here to be the fullest, most authentic expression of yourself. Let me share with you a powerful truth. There is no one else in all of creation exactly like you. No one with your exact talents, experiences, perspectives, and potential. You are utterly unique, a one-of-a-kind manifestation of the divine. How then can you compare yourself to anyone else? It would be like comparing an apple to a star. They are fundamentally different, each perfect in its own way. To act like you are comparison needs to fully embrace this truth. It means to live from the understanding that you are incomparable. Not because you are better or worse than others, but because you are uniquely you. It means to express yourself fully, without fear of judgment or criticism, because you understand that your how you comes not from how you measure up to others, but from the simple fact of your existence. Now, some of you might be wondering, but Neville, how do I do this? How do I act like I have no comparison when the world constantly pushes me to compare myself, and that I say, it begins a shift in consciousness? It starts with changing your inner conversation, with altering the assumptions you hold about yourself and your place in the world. You see, your outer world is a reflection of your inner world. The circumstances that we treat you, the opportunities that come your way, all of these are outpicturings of your own consciousness. When you constantly compare yourself to others, when you feel less than or not good enough, you are creating a world that reflects these beliefs. But when you begin to have no comparison, when you fully embrace your unique essence, you set in motion a new creation. You begin to attract experiences and opportunities that align with this new self-concept. The world has no choice but to conform you something about yourself. Let me give you a practical exercise to begin this shift. Tonight, before you go to sleep, I want you to imagine a scene that implies you are living from the state of having no comparison. Perhaps you see yourself confident presenting your ideas, unafraid of judgment. Or maybe you see yourself pursuing your passion without concern for what others might think. Make this scene as vivid as possible. Engage all your senses. Feel the confidence, the freedom, the joy of being fully unapologetic you. As you are natural in this scene, feel the naturalness of it. Don't see it as something far off in the future, but as your present reality. Feel the relief, the excitement, the peace that comes from fully embracing your unique self. Fall asleep in this consciousness, marinate in the feel of being comparable. This exercise is not mere visualization or positive thinking. It is an act of creation. Remember, your imagination is not a fantasy-producing faculty. It is the very substance of reality. What you imagine with feeling, with conviction, must objectify in your world. This is law. As you continue this practice, you'll begin to notice shifts in your outer world. You might find yourself speaking up more confidently in meetings. You might feel inspired to pursue that dream you've been putting off. You might notice people respondingly, recognizing and respecting your unique value. But here's where many people falter. They see these initial changes and then revert to their old patterns of thinking and behaving. They allow the old habit of comparison to creep back in. Remember, creation is not a one-time event. It is an ongoing process. You must persist in your new assumption. You must continually live from the state of being incomparable until it becomes your dominant state of consciousness. This persistence is key. The Bible tells us, be transformed by renewing of your mind. This renewal is not a single event, but a continuous process. Each time you catch yourself falling into the trap of comparison, gently remind yourself of your true nature. Affirm to yourself, I am unique, I am incomparable. I'm a spirit of divine. Now let's address a common concern that arises when people begin to embrace this truth. Some worry that acting like they have no comparison means becoming arrogant or dismissive of others. But nothing could be further from the truth. When you truly understand only this principle, you recognize not only your own uniqueness, but the uniqueness of every individual. You see, when you act like you have no comparison, you free yourself from the need to be better than others. You no longer see life as a competition, but as an opportune individual to express their unique essence. This understanding fosters genuine appreciation and respect for others, not arrogance or dismissal. Think of it this way. In a garden, we don't compare the rose to the daisy or the oak tree to the pine. We appreciate each for its innate beauty, its individual contribution to the overall harmony of the garden. In the same way, when you act like you have no comparison, you begin to see the world as a garden of unique individuals, each perfect in their own way. This perspective not only transforms, but how you interact with others. Instead of competing, you begin to collaborate. Instead of envying others' success, you celebrate it, recognizing that their achievement takes nothing away from your own unique path. This is the true meaning of abundance consciousness, the understand that enough success, joy, and fulfillment for everyone. Let's delve deeper into the practical application of this principle. Acting like you have no comparison doesn't mean ignoring feedback or refusing to learn from others. It means receiving feedback and learning opportunities in self-doubt. When you truly embody this principle, you can look at others' achievements not as a measure of your own inadequacy, but as inspiration for what's possible. For instance, if you're an artist and you see a piece of work that moves you, instead of thinking, I'm never that good, you might, what a beautiful expression of creativity. I wonder how I can express my unique vision with that level of skill. Do you see the difference? One from comparison and lack, the other from appreciation and abundance. This shift in perspective is crucial because of the life of the universe. When you're constantly comparing yourself to others, you're operating from a place of lack and limitation. You're saying to the universe, there's not enough success, talent, or recognition to go around. But when you act like you have no comparison, you're affirming love in the universe. You're saying there's room for everyone's unique expression, including mine. Now, some of you might be thinking, but Wayne, in the real world, we're often evaluated in comparison to others. How can I act like I have no comparison in a competitive job per industry? To that I say, your outer world will always conform to your inner assumptions. If you assume that you must compete and compare to succeed, that will be your experience. But if you assume that your unique talents and perspective are valuable and needed, you will find opportunities that align that assumption. Remember, the outer world is a shadow, a reflection of your consciousness. As you change your consciousness, as you fully embrace your incomparable nature, the outer world must change to reflect this new state. This is not wishful thinking. It's the law of your being. Let me show you a powerful technique to reinforce this new state of consciousness. I call it the I am meditation. Find a quiet place where you won't be disturbed. Close your eyes and take a few deep breaths to center yourself. Now begin to make I am state and affirm your accountable nature. I'm unique. I am a perfect expression of the divine. I am valuable beyond compare. I am confident in my unique gift. I am free from the need to compare myself to others. As you make these statements, feel their truth. Don't just say the words. Elder relief, the freeing that comes with fully accepting your incomparable nature. Do this meditation daily, especially when you feel the old habit of comparison creeping in. This practice does more than just make you feel good in the moment. It is little in rewiring your subconscious mind, aligning it with the truth of your being. Your subconscious doesn't know the difference between what you vividly imagine and what you experience in the outer world. As you persist in this practice, you are succumbing to these new assumptions as fact, and your outer world will have no choice but to conform. Now, let's address another aspect of acting like you have no comparison, the courage to be different. When you truly embrace your incomparable nature, you free yourself from the need to fit in or conform to others' expectations. You give yourself permission to be authentically, unapologetically you. This can be scary at first. We're conditioned from a young age to seek approval, to try to fit in. But remember, true fulfillment not from fitting in, from standing out, not in a loud, attention-seeking way, but in the quiet confidence of being true to yourself. Think of the great innovators and change makers throughout history. They didn't achieve greatness by trying to be like everyone else. They dared to be different, to express their unique vision, to follow their own path. And in doing so, they not only fulfilled their own potential, but also contributed something valuable to the world. You have that same potential within you. You have a unique combination of talents, aspiring perspectives that no person else in the world has. When you act like you have no comparison, you give yourself permission to fully express this uniqueness. You allow your true self to shine forth, unencumbered by the weight of other expectations or societal norms. This didn't mean you disregard all social conventions or act without consideration for others. It means you make choices based on your own inner guidance, your own values and aspirations, rather than from a place of fear or the need for approval. It means you have courage to say no to opportunities that don't align with your true self, and yes to those that do, even if they seem unconventional or risky. Let me give you an example to illustrate this principle. Imagine you're in a meeting at work. You're having that's quite different from what everyone else is suggesting. The old you, the one trapped in comparison, might keep quiet, afraid of looking foolish or being judged. But the new you, the one who acts like you, have no comparison, shares your idea confidently. You do not of you're better than others, but from a genuine desire to contribute your unique perspective. Now here's the interesting part. When you share your idea from this place of self-assurance and authenticity, people respond differently. You have genuine enthusiasm, even if they don't immediately agree with your idea. They respect your courage and originality. And who knows? Your unique perspective might be exactly what's needed to solve the problem at hand. This is how acting like you have no comparison can not only transform your life, but also positively impact those around you. When you free yourself from the prison of comparison, you give others permission to do the same. You become a living example of freedom and fulfillment that comes from embracing one's unique self. Now, I want to ask something that often comes up when people begin to apply this principle. They worry that acting like they have no comparison means they can't admire or learn from others. But this is a misunderstanding. Acting like you can't appreciate others' talents or learn from their experiences. It means you do so from a place of self-assurance rather than self-doubt. When you truly embody this principle, you can look at others' achievements with genuine appreciation, free from envy or the feeling that their success somehow diminishes your own. You can learn from others' experiences without feeling that you need to replicate their path exactly. You understand that you gain valuable insights from others. Your journey is ultimately unique to you. This perspective actually enhances your ability to learn and grow. when you're not busy comparing yourself to others or trying to fit into someone else's mold. You're free to absorb knowledge and experiences in a way that's most beneficial to you. You can take what resonates and leave what doesn't without feeling pressured to adopt approaches or ideas that don't align with your unique self. Let's delve deeper to the spiritual aspect of acting like you. You have no comparison. At its core, this principle is about recognizing and honoring the divine within you. Remember, you are made in the image and likeness of God. This means the infinite creative power of the universe resides within you. When you compare yourself to others, you are, in essence, denying this divine nature. You are saying the infinite is not enough. I need to be like someone else to have value. But when you act like you have no comparison, you are affirming the divine nature. You are saying, I am a unique expression of the infinite. I am enough just as I am. This understanding brings with it a profound sense of peace and purpose. You no longer need to strive to be like anyone else. Your only task is the fullest, most authentic expression of yourself. This is not selfishness. It is the highest form of service. By fully expressing your unique self, you are fulfilling your divine purpose and contributing your unique gifts to the world. Now, some of you might be thinking, but Wayne, this all sounds wonderful in theory. How to attain this state in a world that constantly pushes me to compare myself to others? And to that, I say, it takes practice and persistence. You are breaking a lifetime habit of comparison and embracing a new way of being. It won't happen overnight, but with consistent effort that become new normal. Here's a practical technique to help you maintain this state throughout your day. I call it the incomparable reminder. Choose an object that you see frequently throughout your day. It could be a ring you wear, a photograph on your desk, or your own reflection in the mirror. Whenever you see this object, pause for a moment and remind yourself of your incomparable nature. You might say to yourself, I am unique, I am valuable, I'm incomparable. Feel the truth of these statements as you say them. This practice serves two purposes. First, you catch yourself when you slip into the habit of comparison. Second, it reinforces your new self-concept throughout the day. Over time, this new self-concept will become so ingrained that acting like you have no comparison will be your natural state of being. Remember, the world around you is a reflection of your consciousness. As you consistently embody this new state, you'll begin to notice changes in your outer world. People will respond to you differently. Opportunities that align with your unique gifts will present themselves. You'll find yourself naturally gravitate, experiencing relationships that honor and celebrate your uniqueness. But here's the key. You must persist even when your outer world hasn't yet caught up with your new inner state. There may be a time lag between your consciousness and its manifestation in your physical reality. During this time, you must hold fast to your new assumption. You must live from the state of being incomparable, even if your circumstances seem to contradict it. This is where faith comes in. Not blind faith, but understanding the law of your being. You must have faith that, as you persist in your new assumption, your inner world must conform. This is not wishful thinking. It is the law of creation. Just as a seed planted in the ground must grow into its corresponding plant, so must your assumption grow physical reality. Now let's address another important aspect of acting like you have no comparison, the freedom it brings to your relationships. When you're constantly comparing yourself to others, your relationships tend to be competition, envy, or insecurity. But when you fully embrace your incomparable nature, you are free to engage with others from a place of genuine appreciation and collaboration. Think about it. When you know that you're unique, valuable just as you are, you no longer need to prove yourself to others. You don't need to be better than anyone else to feel worthy. This frees you to form authentic connections based on mutual respect and appreciation. You can celebrate others' successes without feeling diminished. You can offer your unique perspective without fear of judgment. This shift in how you relate to others can transform your personal and professional relationships, creating a more harmonious and fulfilling social environment. As we conclude our discussion on acting like you have no comparison, I want to emphasize that this is not just a personal development strategy. It is a spiritual practice that aligns you with the truth of your being. By embracing your incomparable nature, you are stepping into your divine inheritance. You are claiming your rightful place as a unique expression of the infinite. This is not ego or arrogance. It is the humble recognition of the divine within you. Remember, your task in this life is not to be like anyone else. It is to be the fullest, most authentic expression of yourself. As you embrace this truth, as you consistently act from the state of being incomparable, you will find a level of freedom, fulfillment, and creative expression that you may have never thought possible. You will discover that the universe is not a hostile place sources, but an abundant field of infinite possibilities waiting for you to express your unique gifts. Go forth, my dear friends, and act like you have no comparison. Not from a place of superiority, but from a place of self-assurance and divine recognition. Know that as you do this, you are not only transforming your own life, but you are contributing to the elevation of all humanity. For as you free yourself from the prison of comparison, you give others permission to do the same. You become a living example of the freedom that comes from embracing one's true divine nature. And in this way, you play your part in creating a world where each individual is free to express their unique essence, contributing to the grand symphony of life in their own incomparable way.